Can't see anything there. I took the pictures of my kids down. Good evening. What an interesting day. I'll wait for a few more people to join on. Hey, good evening, everybody. I've had an interesting day today. My day started with a bacon sandwich in a very hipster, very middle class cafe in Cambridge. Cambridge is a beautiful city. A lot of wealth, a lot of money, not many problems, not much crime, not much Islam either, at all really. So that's when my day started. When I was approached by, well, I couldn't work out at first. Actually, yeah, whether it was a boy or a girl. But anyway, I was approached, and this lady, I believe it to have been, decided to make a big public announcement to everybody that I was a fascist and a racist, and I shouldn't be allowed into the cafe. I shouldn't be allowed anywhere. How unfascist of her. How unfascist of her. Again, when I questioned her on these points of how I'm a fascist, what I've said that's fascist or racist, she had absolutely zero argument. Just wanted to shout at me and say, you're a fascist. How? What have I said? You're a racist. Okay, what have I said that's racist? You are! You are! Well, I'm a racist because you say I'm a racist. I'm a racist because my views challenge yours. And you don't like anything that challenges your views because you've been indoctrinated and programmed through an education system which teaches you that anyone who says anything anyone that says anything that might hurt anybody's feelings, they must be a fascist, racist bigot. And that gives you the right to verbally attack them whilst they're minding their own business having a bacon sandwich. That gives you the moral right. And this girl or boy, or maybe she's gender neutral, it's 2018 after all, maybe she refers to herself as Z. Well, then she went on to swear in front of children in this cafe. But she still wouldn't even see that she's the problem, that she's the fascist. I'm just pointing out factual problems with Islam. And then my day went on to a court case, which has now been put off till September, which will be a 4-day trial, which 12 police officers will have to give evidence, which is to do with the persecution and harassment of my children in Cambridge. So date was set for that, cost was set. Police's cost £32,000. My solicitor's cost £8,000. All of which I'll have to pay if I'm unsuccessful. Then I come out of court, and Ali Dower done pretty well. After months of tracking me down, after 5 different addresses he thought were mine, after 2 innocent families had police protection outside their homes, he finally finds me, guess what? Where I said I'd be. You know, I made it public. This is where I'm going. But I forgot about him, to be honest. I forgot about him, so I wasn't expecting him to be there. So his little moment must have been quite fun for him, of waiting around the corner. There he is, let's go, 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 go. I've had a few of those moments myself. Quite enjoyable. But think about this. So Ali Dower knows I'm going to be there. He knows he's coming to debate me. He's prepared for this debate. I'm not. I'm strolling out of court after a morning of being harassed by some gender-neutral lunatic in a cafe in Cambridge. I'm strolling out of court, and he has the element of surprise on me. Now, was he prepared? It's like, listen, what he says is, he says, you show me one verse in the Quran, as he says it, one verse in the Quran where it says, kill innocent people, okay? Now, say, for example, if I pick verse 533, where it says, anyone who calls corruption or mischief in the land, must be executed, crucified, have their hands and feet cut off, or exiled from their land. Now his argument would be, it doesn't say innocent. It says if they've caused corruption or mischief. So they've caused corruption or mischief so they can be killed. Okay, so then we have to look at what corruption or mischief means. Now Ibn Kathir, who is one of the world's most recognised Sunni scholars, which is what Ali Dawah follows. Yeah? Now, I'll put all this onto a video if I have to put it onto a video. If I was sitting down with Ali, I'd have brought all of this with me. Yeah? But Ali was prepared, I wasn't. So Ibn Kathir, and you have tafsirs. So you have where certain people commentate on the Quran. So there'll be certain top Islamic scholars. And a tafsir will be the commentary about that verse. So when you have a verse, you'll then have an expert who will explain what it means. Now, if you read Ibn Kathir's commentary on the Quran, when you get to this exact verse, 533, and he explains what corruption means. Guess what corruption means? Corruption means disbelief in Allah. Every one of you guys. You know, every non-Muslim that doesn't believe in Allah. You know, the innocent people. So yes, it doesn't say innocent. It doesn't say kill innocent people. But obviously, ISIS and Boko Haram and Al-Qaeda and the 60 other Islamic jihadist terrorist organisations in the world find their justification, of course, within the Quran. Which is all I'm saying to, all I've said to Ali. I wrote a book, Why Muslims Kill for Islam. They do kill for Islam. Why? It's a question we all need answering. We all need to know why they're doing it, if we're going to get to the bottom of it. And then I simply put together Islamic scholar after Islamic scholar with evidence, backed evidence, not my opinion, it's evidence, with 500 book notes in the book, bringing you to the Islamic scholars and the resources for where all the information was gathered. So Ali is prepared. He's gone through the book. He's got everything ready. Watch the debate. Just watch the debate. So yeah. Oh, man. And that's how it went, basically. It went on the point of me... So Ali come to expose me. Now, what he actually exposed, if we just put it on a quick fall, is that he exposed that in his ideal society that he wants, he had his British passport. He must have prepared for it. He had I'm going to get my British passport out. And he started waving it. I'm British, I'm British. So I simply asked him, what comes first? Sharia or British law? Well, Sharia, of course, Ali says. So here we have a man in front of me waving a British passport, which means absolute jack shit to him, because he wants Sharia law to be the law of our land. Islam comes before being British. He clearly said it. So, that's first off. Then he explains that, in his view, in his ideal society, Sharia would govern the land, and the legal age, there would be no legal age for sex. He then goes on to clarify, and yes, 100% admit, that his prophet married Aisha when she was 6, and he raped her when she was 9. And he then goes on to say there's nothing wrong with that. Muhammad did was right. It's okay. She was mature. So then I asked, okay, so under your little law that you want in our land, who decides when someone's mature? So her mum and dad. That's what he says. You know, the same mums and dads who have let 50,000 young British girls have their genitals mutilated. Them same mums and dads. The same mums and dads that believe Muhammad was perfect. You know Muhammad who married a 9-year-old, or had sex with a 9-year-old. Then he went on to confirm that as soon as a child starts puberty, they become an adult. In his view. This is the most moderate Muslim. All that got exposed was actual Islamic views. And he was honest about them. He then went on to admit and accept that basically Muhammad, a Jewish tribe surrendered to Muhammad. They surrendered, and he lined up 600 men. He took all their wives as war booty. Wives and daughters were taken as sexual slaves. And he beheaded. So there was one called Sophia. And he tortured her dad. He burned his chest. He murdered him. He beheaded her dad. He beheaded her brother. And that night, as I asked him, he married her. So this woman watched her father be beheaded. She watched her brother be killed. And he wants us to tell us that she willingly got into bed and consummated her marriage. Really? He beheaded her husband, beheaded her brother, and then he raped her, mate. And we all know it. And you're justifying it. And you're making it an argument for it. So then he went on to explain that. Just then, and then he went on to explain that there's nothing wrong. Under Islam, he went on, watch the video, when a Muslim leaves Islam, which means when a Muslim changes their mind. After all, we should all have free thought, yeah? We should be free to change our mind in anything we want. And he went on to explain that that's like treason. So a Muslim who leaves Islam under an Islamic state should be killed. This is your moderate Muslim. Sex with kids, beheading people and raping their wives that night, okay, all okay. Killing people for free thought, that's okay as well. But Tommy Robinson, you're a fascist extremist. And I'm going to expose you. Oh, mate. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm glad. And the thing is, you're right, it would be funny if it wasn't so dangerous. Think about that. These people really want this. They really want Islam to govern this land. And at the minute, at 5%, people may laugh and think that's far-fetched. But when you start looking at the demographical change predicted for our country, you look at how fast that community is growing. You look at the power it already sways within the politics, within the Labour Party. You look and start thinking about the future of your country. You start thinking about the future of your children. And you start realising, if you look through 1400 years of history, that every country that Islam's ever come into has resulted in civil war and takeover, actually, of those lands. And then start asking yourself the question, if the country has 5% currently of Muslims, and we see successful terrorist attack after successful terrorist attack, 12 stopped, prevented terrorist attacks just last year, you start seeing this. Ask yourself where we're going to be when that population rises to 20%. And then you start looking at the age difference and the demographics of it. And you start realising that when all of our average population are old, and their 20% are young men, like Ali Dawah, who are committed to implementing Islam. Nothing else matters. As they tell you, Britain doesn't matter, law doesn't matter, Sharia matters, Islam matters. That's all that matters. That is when you really need to start asking, how much more of this can we take? How much more of this are we going to tolerate in our country? And not just in our country, but the acceptance of people with, quite simply, our crazy beliefs. Barbarians. Fucking cavemen. All Ali Dawah exposed today is that he should be in a cave. That's it. He should be in a cave banging his chest. Because I'm sorry, his views on women, his views on free thought, his views on everything belong in the Stone Age. They don't belong in 2018 Britain from a so-called moderate Muslim. That's it. And Ali, you really ain't got the hang of this troll watch shit, man. You got to come better prepared than you did today, bro. Every one of your own people, I'm reading their comments, mate. All you've done today is expose to the British public just how mad you are. And, bruv, I'm going to end this on one thing. There's no such thing as flying unicorns. There never has been, there never will be. Okay? Good night.